Madam Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Tourism and Hospitality. Minister, your party talked tough at the last election about standing up and taking the fight to airlines about airfares in the Northern Territory. Your government stand by and post selfies and talk big and act tough, showing the airfares coming to Darwin. But last week we learnt that your government has done nothing to stand by the people of Alice Springs when we lose an important flight from Alice Springs to Adelaide. Minister, can you outline what your government is doing to attract more airlines into Mbantua Alice Springs? We don't want to hear your big talk, we want to see your action. The Tourism Central Australia have said and have reminded the government, Madam Speaker, that there is the Northern Territory government who has the main relationship with the carriers needs to be mindful, making sure that we don't lose services, and that we certainly call on the Northern Territory government to stay vigilant and make sure these services are not lost. Minister, what are you doing?
Time has expired. Minister for Tourism and Hospitality.
Well, you don't care about Alice
Will be heard
Springs.
in silence.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you for the question, because our entire team has just spent the weekend in Alice Springs out listening to the people of Alice Springs, and I can tell you now it is starting to look like and feel like and sound like a very different place than it was under Labor. It was actually thriving, and we're talking about coming into a really hot season, towards summer. This week we've been talking a lot about being ready for summer, and of course a lot of work goes into that. So the plan is there that that's going to be a much better summer than it has been in previous years under Labor. And that's because of the work that we have been doing to reduce crime. I mean, we came into government just over a year ago and put forward a heap of legislation to change the way the Territory was, to reduce that crime, to make sure that places like Alice Springs did not have the reputation that it had under Labor nationally for all of the wrong reasons. So that was really serious work that is now starting to show signs that we're moving in the right direction, and that is that crime is going down and the economy is going up. Now, there is so much more work that has to be done, Madam Speaker, but tourism is a big part of the work that has to be done. It's one of our 5 key pillars for growing the economy. And so, of course, we absolutely value our tourism industry in Alice Springs. And there is, they are such hard workers down there, and they need to be supported. And that's exactly why we spend so much time in Alice Springs. That's why we have 2 ministers that are in Alice Springs. That's why there's now a police commissioner in Alice Springs, because we actually really believe genuinely that it's the heart of Australia. But for so many years, they've just been talked to. They've been talk, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, with nothing delivered. But if you keep on—
Take your seat, please, Minister. What's your point of order, Member for Guacha?
Order 110. My question was to the Minister for Tourism, and she's talking about talk. We don't want to hear your talk. We want to hear your action. What are you doing to save airlines and to stop airlines pulling out of Alice Springs? That is the question, and you're defending, you are failing.
You've made your point. Attorney General, you've got plenty of time.
Honestly, he was a minister in the previous government for a very long time. I think he was the Deputy Chief Minister, and he absolutely failed his own hometown. Now, I'll remind the member for Guaja that airline and aviation activation actually sits under the Minister for Trade, Business and Asian Relations. So I will absolutely allow the minister to answer the rest of the couple of seconds that I've got to answer the question.
Member for Guaja, you're on a warning. Your interjections are too much.
And thank you, Madam Speaker. I think it speaks volumes that the member for Guaja hasn't caught up to which department is actually doing the work in this space. And I will categorically say that we are absolutely increasing connectivity to Alice Springs. What about the flight to Cairns? It has been an outstanding success. What about the flights that we're seeing?
Take your seat. Member for Guaja, take your seat.
It is an Alice Springs. It's an Alice Springs flight. It's an Alice Springs flight, Member for Goyja. Perhaps you might want to check the thing. And more importantly, I can tell you that the cost of flights are significantly—
Member for Guaja, there is no point of order.
Well,
the minister has— You are arguing with me. You can go out for an hour, please.
Well, it's sad.
No, in silence. You will leave the chamber straight away. In silence. Member for Guaja. Minister, have you completed your answer?
I'll
Take your seat, please.
I'll just very quickly say that the Qantas flight he's referring to was always seasonal. This is not an unexpected or unplanned reduction, and they'll be back in full in March next year.
Madam Speaker.
Deputy Chief Minister.
Just raise the point. You just excluded the member for Gorja.
I did.
And then he spoke to you and argued with you after. And under Standing Order 48, dissent from ruling, Madam Speaker, I ask you to take action on that. This is disgraceful that you've made a ruling, and then on the way out he continued to talk, he continued to yell, continued to be argumentative, and Madam Speaker, and I strongly believe that's a breach, and he needs to be some clear action taken, that if you direct someone out, they can't keep talking and they can't keep doing that what they're doing, Madam Speaker.
Deputy Chief Minister, understanding Order 48, this is a motion, so if you want to pursue this, you have to put something in writing and have it seconded. Look, can I just speak? I hear what you're saying. I'm not impressed with the member for Guadja. He was asked to leave in silence and he kept arguing. Let me sit on this. He is out for an hour and I will make a determination over the duration of question time as to how I will proceed. If that's adequate.
I just ask that you take that, Madam. 41, Madam Speaker. 49.
49. He's already been excluded for 1 hour. I hear what you're saying. Just let me deal with this, but if you want to move a motion, understanding Order 49, he's already excluded for 1 hour. Okay, we'll continue with question time. I would like to address the matter of the exclusion of the member for Guadja from the chamber at around 2:23 this afternoon. Under Standing Order 49, I initially asked the member to leave the chamber for 1 hour, given his disorderly behaviour. The Deputy Chief Minister asked for the member to be named, and I have considered that. It's not something I want to do, is name any member for their disorderly conduct, but I am bound by a set of rules called the Standing Orders, and the Standing Orders very clearly outline the conditions on which people should be named if necessary. And some of those include persistent and willful obstructed, that the member who has persistently and willfully obstructed the business of the Assembly, used objectionable or disorderly words, persistent and willfully refused to conform to any standing order, and persistently and willfully disregarded the authority of the Speaker. I think the member for Guadja was in breach of that, and so therefore I am using Standing Order 51 to name the member for Guadja. So I move that the member for Guadja be suspended from the services of the Assembly. All of those in favour say aye. To the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The period of suspension will be for 24 hours. Therefore, the member for Guadja can resume his role in the Assembly at around 2:23 tomorrow. As I said, I issue this with a great sense of reluctance. I don't want to be naming people. I don't want to be throwing people out of the chamber. But there is a code of conduct that we all have to adhere to, and there is a set of rules that we have to adhere to. And it is my job as Speaker to make those rules, enforce those rules, and make sure that people are heard in silence and with respect. So, on a rather negative note, to continue the business of the day.